guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm the Lobster Man.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Hey, Lobster Man.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm the whale.
Oh no. Oh no. We are the Office Blokes. 2 of the YouTube channels. We've got a Patreon page. We have social media. We've got brand spanking new merch. All that good stuff. Please click the link in the description and it'll take you everywhere you need to go. We do appreciate the support massively. It helps us keep going. Right. Everything discovered on Mars so far. We've been having a pretty good run of these sort of space stuff and
space and science, educational stuff.
Really interesting.
Education with the Office Blokes.
We're trying to learn some educationals. All I know is recently they said that they discovered mould on Mars.
What, the place in Wales?
Yeah.
So that's classed as like a live...
it's a life form.
Life form, fungus or something, is it? Mould?
Yeah.
Something like that.
But that's the only thing I've heard. I think there's water as well, isn't there, under the surface?
I think there is, don't they? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
There must be like a burnt out car there or something as well, like, or a fucking shopping trolley.
Ford Escort or a Tesco trolley somewhere.
That'd be the nuts thing, wouldn't it? You find like traces of human civilization and it turns out we've just jumped planets and then lost all technology like thousands of years ago.
In our simulation. They've moved us, like, take them off there and put them on there now.
Yeah, and then
give them a bit more water.
Then you've got Elon Musk wanting to go back to Mars, but actually we need to be going
the other way.
To
the sun.
Interesting.
Yeah, until you get burnt. Anyway, let's get into it. Everything discovered on Mars so far.
Even the most die-hard NASA stan has to admit the Martian surface is a pretty dry subject. But what if we told you NASA's new Perseverance rover has already made startling discoveries involving a harbour seal, the Wright brothers airplane, and the merits of rigorous personal hygiene? Join us today as we prove how much this dead planet rocks and learn what has been found on Mars so far. NASA's Mars 2020 mission is all about seeking traces of the microbial life scientists think might have existed some 3 billion years ago.
Why? What does it fucking matter?
I think they just want to prove that there's life on other planets, don't they? Where the law of averages says, there's got to be. The amount of planets and suns out there's got to be. But they want to prove it, don't they? They want actual proof, I suppose.
But why do it in our solar system then? Why not fuck off somewhere else?
Because we can't go that far yet.
I think it's just distances.
So we're practicing?
Probably, yeah.
Our technology only gets us this far, I suppose, where it comes to exploration, doesn't it? Landing on a planet. But
I also heard a thing where someone was debating about NASA being a waste of money and the space program being a waste of money, and then I heard someone come back and say something like, for every $1 that's been spent on NASA, they've made $100. Something ridiculous like that, because they've invented that much technology for space travel. Yeah, merch. just NASA t-shirts.
And NASA caps and everything,
I think they've pioneered so much technology through NASA.
I was going to say, the technology to get them there, I mean, it's employing thousands of people as well, isn't it, worldwide, making these things.
So it's a money maker, all this space travel.
What's that with that? I'm just asking why we're doing these tests.
Because it's making someone loads of money somewhere.
Go further.
That's what I'm saying.
Go further is what I say.
Yeah.
Missions on Mars were probably very similar to those on Earth. If successful, technical insights gained on this mission will also help pave the way for future manned adventures to the Red Planet. At the time of writing, the rover has been on the surface for less than 100 days, but plenty has been discovered nevertheless. For one, vital proof of concept data was collected from the very landing process itself. The mission's all-new terrain-relative navigation used innovative onboard mapping, cross-referencing input from the craft's onboard cameras to help pinpoint the Perseverance landing zone to within a few meters. No small feat, when even a minor overshoot would have landed the rover in trouble. Weeks of hard driving from where it needs to be. And this data will prove invaluable to future sorties. 3 types of sensors, thermocouples, heat flux sensors, and pressure transducers were deployed during entry and landing, collecting data on the temperatures and outside pressure before and after that iconic parachute was deployed. One potentially key discovery was that every last thermocouple survived the landing intact, suggesting heat shield damage was minimal. And as thermocouples are by no means mission critical, it follows that future landers could maybe get by with thinner heat shields, saving all important weight. Safely deposit.
First humans going to Mars, but don't worry, we've learned we can have thinner heat shields.
You should be able to have a thinner heat shield.
It'll be a bit cheaper to get you up there. Every kilo we save saves us $1 million. Fuck off. No.
Yeah, I want the fucking thick shield, thanks very much.
Why don't you double up the shields? No, you speak.
Too heavy.
And on the Martian surface, Perseverance has since been doing exactly what we'd all be doing in its position, blasting rocks with its awesome space laser. You'll have seen in those photos sent back from the red planet that the rover's new Jezero crater home is studded with light-coloured rocks peering out from a landscape of russet-coloured soil. Well, some of those rocks have been singled out for special attention by arguably the coolest man-made device ever sent into space, the Perseverance Supercam. The Supercam rocks up to its target stone and fires a tiny pinpoint laser, accurate up to 7 meters away. When that powerful beam strikes the rock, it sends up a brief superheated cloud of plasma, comprising free-floating ions and electrons. Perseverance's onboard spectrograph reads the short plasma signature and can identify the chemical composition of the rock. Two particular rocks scientists have identified as worthy of the Supercam treatment have been nicknamed Mars and Yigo. They're both words from the Navajo dialect, by the way, coined by Aaron Yazzie, a NASA engineer and proud Navajo Nation member. Anyway, it turns out that Mars, which means Mars, and Yigo, meaning diligent, are basalt-like in composition. So they're igneous, as in they've come from a volcano, but crucially, it seems they were moulded into their present shape amid some long-gone watery environment. Proof, if it were needed, that Mars wasn't always such a dry topic. Another noteworthy rock Perseverance has pored over is nicknamed the Harbour Seal. Dark and smooth, NASA believes it was sculpted into a sinuous likeness of that playful marine carnivore by the natural erosion of powerful northwesterly winds. This finding supports existing weather modelling of the Martian atmosphere, so counts as a valid and useful data point for researchers, as well as being darn cute. Supercam's super-duper laser doesn't only furnish Perseverance with visual clues for the mineral composition of rocks. Oh no! The very sound of its zapping sci-fi laser also offers sonic clues to the makeup of stones. Indeed, one of the most groundbreaking aspects of this mission so far is that it's enabled anybody back home on Earth to listen in on the Martian landscape, thanks to Perseverance's onboard battery of microphones. In addition to the pew-pew of that laser, an audio track also dropped on NASA's SoundCloud of the rover's heavy metal wheels clanging and banging across the hard, rocking Martian terrain. Not to mention the eerie ambient susurration of the extraterrestrial winds, available to anybody who wants to hear it online. Magic, really. Even more magical, Perseverance's marvelous MOXIE unit has performed nothing short of alchemy, transforming base CO2 into life-giving oxygen. MOXIE, which stands for Mars Oxygen In Situ Resource Utilization Experiment, since you ask, is a gold-plated gizmo roughly the size of a car battery. It works by diffusing atmospheric CO2 through a non-porous disk of yttrium-stabilized zirconia, or YSZ, sandwiched between two porous electrodes. And on April the 20th, it produced a modest but nonetheless historic 5 grams of oxygen. That works out at around 10 minutes worth of breathable air. MOXIE isn't just the first instrument to produce oxygen on another world, paving the way for humanity to literally colonize the universe. It's also the very first device of its kind to help future missions live off the land, harnessing elements of another world's environment for fuel. This is known by fancy engineering types as in situ resource utilization. That basically means using local CO2 to make oxygen to then make rocket propellant, which is a much bigger job than plain old breathable air.
That is actually mind-blowing, isn't it? That really is.
The stuff that they do is absolutely unbelievable. This is on a planet thousands of miles away.
I was thinking what I'm having for dinner tonight. That's just totally fine.
All the effort they've gone to as well.
I'm kidding.
They've made, not
It's
made,
amazing.
but they've separated and come up with oxygen that's breathable on another planet.
On another planet.
Which is
It's
essentially life-sustaining. If you can figure out a food source now, it's
absolutely
unbelievable,
incredible.
isn't
I'll
it?
be McDonald's up there, mate.
Probably, yeah. But if
You can just see it.
you get some sort of hydroponics sort of system going on, some sort of solar-powered hydroponics, you take the water up with you, and you just have solar
How
power
do you get the water up with you?
pumping. But you'd have to take it, wouldn't you?
Massive pipe.
Unless you can find water on Mars.
Yeah, that's what it's there for, isn't it?
So if you find water and you can make
Well, it's
oxygen,
been there before,
you
they're saying.
you
I
can
think
sustain life.
it's so hot it's like evaporated, hasn't it? It's all gone. I think 'cause it's because the surface is that hot. But it might be.
How's the surface that hot when it's further away from the sun than we are?
I have no idea.
I don't
Or is
know.
it consistent?
Because
I think because you haven't got an atmosphere. I think
It's not
maybe.
got an atmosphere, isn't it?
I
That's
think
the-
that might be what it is. Yeah. The short answer is I don't know.
I thought you were
guess
doing the
that's what it is.
science there, Mike.
Nah, never do that.
I was buying into that then, Mike.
You could have said anything and we would have been
I know
like,
we'd have
no
gone, right,
way.
great, that, mate, yeah.
I thought it's close to Mars anyway.
No.
No.
So did I, just because it was red and barren. I
Yeah.
thought it was, but I guess not.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, isn't it? Or whichever way. Yeah, that's what it is.
Uranus.
Yeah.
In order to create enough fuel to launch, say, 4 astronauts off the Martian surface, a future mission would require approximately 15,000 pounds, or 7 metric tons, of rocket fuel and 25 metric tons of oxygen. That's obviously way too much to carry from Earth. By contrast, those 4 astronauts would only need around 1 metric ton between them for breathing, and Moxie has proved that can certainly be done by a larger descendant unit anyway. A breathtaking, historic first. Of course, the most eye-catching wheeze on this mission so far has been the successful deployment of NASA's $80 million Ingenuity helicopter. Affectionately named Ginny, if you think that's cute, wait till you learn Perseverance is nicknamed Percy, this diminutive chopper only last month cemented its place in the annals of science by performing the first powered flight on another world. And the very...
Right.
Incredible.
Oh, shit for 80 million quid.
You'd expect a bit more, wouldn't you?
Or at least one like a CD player or a...
Yeah, you'd expect like a Lamborghini or something, wouldn't you? Or Aston Martin, at least.
I can sell it a Friday afternoon. I can't remember what I was going to say is when we talked about aliens and it could be drones that are visiting Earth that are powered by someone somewhere else, we've literally sent a drone to another planet. So it's not inconceivable that someone might send a drone here if they can't travel here.
Yeah. Hang on a minute. Let's not overthink this because Mars is only next door to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about different galaxies.
How long till we can send a drone to another galaxy, or at least to further planets?
That's beyond our technology, is it?
Depends who's doing it, mate. It's the fucking UK Postal Service. They're never going to happen.
Never.
But it's unmanned, so technically, if it flies for 100 years and then someone in 100 years' time is the one controlling it, it's still us doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So it's crackers.
The fact it survived the trip at all is a miracle. If Ingenuity would have crashed after the very first flight, we would still have met a couple of huge milestones, one NASA technician told fans on Reddit. Surviving launch, charging while en route, surviving the entry, descent and landing, also deploying from the rover and surviving the cold Martian night, these are no small tasks. Certainly making an airworthy vehicle that's dinky enough to be stowed on an interplanetary rover is an amazing achievement and paves the way for future missions exploring areas unsuitable for rovers. As we speak, engineers are greedily collecting data from this one-of-a-kind thin air copter to be used in the design of smart micro-drones, or drones that fly at high altitude for applications here on Earth. One particularly arresting scientific observation concerned the solar panels mounted near Ginny's rotor blades. Engineers spent a long time figuring if there was some way of mitigating the inevitable coating of Mars dust the panels would attract, and lose power in doing so. Various solutions, like mini windscreen wipers, were pitched and rejected on the basis they'd add too much complexity and weight. But when those dual rotors started spinning, technicians noticed Ginny's solar output actually increased by a couple of percentage points. Engineers have speculated this is because airflow from the blades self-cleaned Ginny's dusty solar panels. Hygiene matters, even on Mars. Ginny is also carrying a very special payload, a postage stamp-sized square of fabric that was once part of the Wright brothers' historic 1903 flying plane was carefully attached to the craft, a tribute to the real aviation OGs. It's still up there now. Before we get carried away with how adorable that is, Mimi Aung, NASA's Ingenuity program manager, had this to say. "We've been thinking so long about having our Wright brothers moment," she said modestly. "We will take a moment to celebrate our success and then take a cue from Orville and Wilbur regarding what to do next." So what did the Wright brothers do next? History shows they got back to work, learning as much as they could about their new aircraft. Onwards and upwards then. What do you think? Are these breakthroughs worth the insane budget? Or will we only be satisfied when Ginny sends back a selfie with a little green man? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more high-flying tech content.
I think that's really cool to me.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not usually a space person, so when we've been reacting to space stuff recently, I'd never normally watch that.
Yeah.
But that's mind-blowing.
Space is mind-blowing in itself.
It is.
I don't know, we've touched on it with some of the channels we've been doing. I like that channel though. That channel was good.
It was really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the technology to get to these places is absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? To send something from here, pinpoint accuracy within a few meters of the landing spot. It's absolutely insane how they even come up with it. And then all the equipment and the tests and the experiments that they do. It's just
it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to be spending.
Oh, huge!
When we got bigger problems on our planet.
Of course it is.
You know,
with
global warming,
ultimate
plastics, and
I get that,
and shit that goes on.
Yeah,
like that,
true.
We still live in a capitalist world, and if it's making someone money to actually do this, if NASA do make the money that supposedly they do, then it's a business.
I think ultimately all the stuff that do the experiments, it's got to do something good for the world, doesn't it? It's got to benefit the world in some shape or form.
We could figure out that it might turn out Mars used to be the exact same thing as Earth, and then something happened, and we might be able to figure out how to prevent whatever happening to us. True. So it could be the most important thing ever done.
I don't think like humans will ever stop trying to discover, go to new places. There's just people that are driven to do it, but it is an insane amount of money. You're right.
But with space, there's also the ability to spy on other countries using satellite data and stuff like that. So there's a lot more to it than.
I'm not talking about Trump's space force that he was starting before he stopped being president.
I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but I'm talking about what goes on with satellites and spying and stuff like that around the world. So
I think they're all at it, aren't they?
It's all there. We love space stuff.
Yeah,
I'm starting to go that way, to be honest. I was indifferent before we started doing this. I thought, that's pretty cool, but whatever. But things like that's
it's good. Really interesting.
You can learn loads of shit with the Office Blokes.
Very, very educational.
Learn to do science with the Office Blokes.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.